With most of the stuff I've covered so far, there's been a common running theme of them all being fairly action-based anime. But I do more than just watch flashy action anime. So that's why this video is about my favorite romantic comedy, Kaguya-sama, Love is War. We got nonsense, we got shenanigans, and we got downright tomfoolery. Coupled with an excellent story and great characters, that makes this show an absolute blast of an anime. In all honesty, I did not see myself enjoying something like this when I first started watching anime. My introductions were some of the big three, like Dragon Ball and Naruto. And then from there I went to One Punch Man and One Piece. But I dabbled a tad in the slice of life genre thanks to Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, and it led to this. So without further ado, let's get into the breakdown. Kaguya-sama, Love is War is the story of a high school romance between the daughter of an insanely wealthy businessman and the misfit commoner guy who made a name for himself among his upper class peers. Set on the campus of a highly prestigious school where only the children of society's elites are known to attend, it follows Kaguya Shinomiya and Miyuki Shinogane as they compete to force the other into confessing their love. Yup. It's a story about two people literally too stubborn to admit that they like each other. The best part is, they know they have mutual feelings. But they have to get the other to admit it because apparently the game of love is about the conquered and the conqueror. If you watch the show, you'll see what I'm talking about. As a result of this competition, Shinomiya and Shinogane end up repeatedly competing against each other in a battle of wits to entrap the other person. Right off the bat, I gotta say the premise of this series is fantastic. It's a unique take on the romance manga that doesn't rely on overly emotional drama or even the annoying trope of conflicting love interests that turn the series into a one wins, one loses story. And without the forced drama of inserting multiple love interests, the show is free to pursue developing its characters and expounding on the games that the two main characters play with each other. It's a healthy dose of comedy poured over the foundational love story that makes the backbone of the plot. I dare say that Love is War conquers the genre, earning its place among my top 5 favorite animes I've ever watched. Not of last year, though it certainly is in my top 5 of 2022. I said of all the anime I've ever watched, this is one of my 5 favorites. From here on out, you'd best mind yourself for some spoilers, because I'm gonna get into a lot of detail about why Love is War deserves its spot in my top 5. Though there really isn't a huge amount for me to spoil. As I already said, Love is War skips the drama of having the main character wash back and forth between feelings for one person or the other, and even the drama of a competition for the eye of the same person. Having cut out that needless drama by starting off the series with both characters already in love with each other, the big draw is comedy. And here's just one of the ways in which Love is War shines bright. Its ability to turn mundane events like deciding on a place to take a trip to, or getting the contact information of a friend, into a comedic and blown out of proportion battle of wits. From wordplay to games, and even to asking people out to a movie. Love is War never fails to make the opportunity to hit the haha funnies button and dive headlong into a joke. And there's more to it than just that. There's literally never a dull moment with this show, as it either dives into the gag or hits you with that feels moment that expounds on the character. Hell, even the comedy routines help develop the characters, so it's not like you can cut any of them out without losing context. It's such a good balance of funny and touching that it's virtually impossible to find anything wrong with this series. The writing doesn't fall short on giving you characters who are worth your emotional investment. There isn't a single person on the list of characters who disappoints. From minor characters who appear maybe twice, to even the main cast, Love is War delivers a great hodgepodge of different types of people, blending them together as ingredients for the various gags that act as the main course of this series. And it's not just that the characters are funny either. It's the fact that each one is so unique and so well utilized that it all either leads to endearing character development that shows you why you should love them, or to a fantastically ordered joke delivered right at the perfect time. Love is War ends up not being the one-trick pony that other series end up being. With this lineup of characters, the jokes always feel fresh, and even the ones that are revisited are given new angles and a fresh set of circumstances to spice things up. But I think the true strength of Kaguya-sama, Love is War, is its ability to wrap endearing characters in a touching story of friendship, personal growth, and love in this comedic flair that makes all of it so perfect. And that brings us to the heart of the show. So let's talk about the title character, Kaguya herself. Kaguya is the daughter of the most powerful businessman in Japan. Now, that life affords her a lot of luxury, but her heritage also means she's effectively a princess trapped in a tower. Her upbringing lacked any familial affection, and made her cynical until she met her future love interest, Miyuki Shinogane. In trying to prove he had some angle to his kindness and compassion, she found herself not only letting go of that cynicism, but falling in love with him. These events have already happened by the time the series begins, and it dives into the established romantic tension between her and Shinogane before addressing the reason they became so close. Her story comes out in pieces as each battle of the war results in ridiculous situations predicated on the unique personalities and situations of those involved, and elicits a tiny bit of each character. So not only is the comedy, well, comedic, it moves the plot as well. But despite being the princess trapped in the tower, Kaguya is far from helpless. She may be a bit naive, but she proves incredibly capable. Oftentimes, when a rich and pampered character is introduced to an anime storyline, they come off as far more naive or incapable of caring for themselves than they should be. But with Love is War, Kaguya's naivety feels natural. The endearing side of her shows through in the moments where you start to see just how confined she really is, and how she longs for both friendship and familial affection. Like when she's forced to refrain from taking pictures with her friends for a school publication due to family policy. Those moments are the best, because in those moments, Shinogane shines through as a chivalrous and kind guy. It's in his rushing to the aid of those in need that Shinogane earns both the viewer's respect and the rich girl's heart. He comes from the exact opposite background as Kaguya. His family is pretty much dirt poor after his mother ran out on the family and screwed them over. By the merit of his hard work and persistence, Shinogane earned his spot at the academy through academic excellence. By no means is Shinogane talented at anything he tries, and that becomes a repeated joke as he forces himself to improve through sheer force of will and hard work. This is a man who fights tooth and nail for every bit of success he has, and on top of that, he's an excellent friend. His closest male friend is a depressed, antisocial guy named Yu Ishigami. Ishigami is a social outcast, and almost missed his chance to go to high school because he became a shut-in. But thanks to Shinogane's and Shinomiya's efforts, he was able to come back. And Shinogane's constant drive to come to the aid of anyone in need makes it clear why Kaguya would love him so much. Even at the risk of losing a student election, he helped an opponent out of a rut simply because he felt it wrong to let her flounder. And when Kaguya was barred from going to see fireworks with them, he managed to make her wish come true by getting her within the view of the show. And there's so much more about this that makes this series so absolutely perfect. But to sum up the dynamic, Shinomiya loves him because he's a genuinely kind and hardworking guy. Shinogane loves her because he respects her decisiveness and because she backs up the people around her with everything she has, like when she committed to helping Ishigami improve his grades, in spite of the fact that the two didn't exactly see eye to eye, or any of the other times she backs up Shinogane when he's in need of help. It's the perfect balance of structure for characters, where they don't feel the need to absolutely emasculate the male character and make him a loser, and they don't need to make the female character the shining idol of perfection that makes Love is War come to life. On top of that, with each character possessing their own strengths and flaws, all of the cast feels a whole lot more natural, while still being able to be used for comedic effect. So the sprinkling of all the heartfelt, important moments in among the endless barrage of well-timed and well-thought-out jokes leads to the perfect romantic comedy. It's that perfect balance of strengths and weaknesses, the portrayal of real humanity in the characters, where every character has their flaws and shining strengths that makes this so absolutely awesome. The characters aren't so over the top as they tend to be, and keeping them contained like that means there's more opportunity to both show their growth and use their well-crafted personalities for a joke. Love is War avoids literally every negative trope romance anime has to offer, and hits you hard with both comedy and compelling developments that make you love the show. And of course, me being the animation snob that I am, I have to comment about the artistic choices with the animation. I'm not going to say that Kaguya-sama is like the most fantastically animated show, but the choices they made are perfect for it. But I've been saving the ace up my sleeve for this last little bit here. The best and most crucial point for why this series is so fantastic. It's the damned narrator. easily the best character in the series. The narrator adds the right amount of flair and exposition to spice up the show that much more. Both his dialogue and his personality are just so perfect for this comedy that he instantly became one of my favorite parts of the show. Now, watching this in English, it was Ian Sinclair who voiced the narrator, and I will never not love that man's voice in an anime. I felt like he really well encapsulated what the narrator needed to be. And with the intros to this series being really good, funky songs, there's just nothing wrong with this show that I can point out. In the end, whether it's wieners, arm wrestling, or epic rap battles, there's always something to laugh at. And when things get serious, the romantic story that forms the backbone of Love is War shows you just how well this show is thought out. I am head over heels for Love is War. Note to self: get better jokes. Final grade, 9.8 out of 10. Deductions made for not having more episodes to enjoy. Any hoozle, thanks for watching all the way to the end. If you liked the video, please smash the like button. And then you should subscribe, because I'm going to be doing more awesome videos like this. And if you have some thoughts you'd like to share, how about putting them down in the comments? Interaction is always fun. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a fantastic week. Later.